right, so one thing I do with puppies is tethering. So I really like using this space in the house for tethering a dog, so I can be working on dishes or helping with homework or watching kids, but I can also have a little bit more wiggle room where I don't need to be so hands-on with the puppy. But we don't have him like wandering off going to go pee and poop somewhere. So if he's going to go do that, I'm going to be able to see him do it right here and be able to correct it. So another thing too, I can work on manners with kids. One thing I see with Louie is what I would call like demanding behaviors due to adrenaline. So if he's adrenalized, he often will bark. And right now he is a little adrenalized because there's a lot going on. And so one thing this tethering can do in the long term is allow him, see how he's starting to lay down, allow him to do more of this despite noise, despite chaos, despite other dogs wandering around, and go in and reward some of the things. Sometimes I don't even need a reward. This is just kind of on him to relax. If he does start barking and yapping at me, I can go and do a little like line check by coming in and saying no and doing a little line check. If he goes to lay down, I can start to encourage it by putting some food on the floor and then going away. So I'll just wander around the house with my treat pouch. And this has his daily food intake that he needs in the pouch. So part of that was working at the park this morning. Part of it could be taking kids to school, lots of opportunities. Part of it's just making sure he's understanding commands, going in and out of the crate, going potty. So I can use the food throughout the day to really capture behaviors I like, or if I'm actively working for him. He's tired. He just played with some other dogs. We've done some training. So I have some options. I can put him in the crate to take a nap, which is always a great option, especially if I really need to focus on other tasks and I can't pay attention to a puppy. In this case, I'm about to work on some dishes. And so this is something where I can kind of, I've got my son here. We're going to leave here shortly to get daughter from school. So I can do some of these things with him. It's a lot of work, but this can kind of help keep him a little bit cleaner as far as potty accidents go. He had a couple accidents yesterday. It's new, first day. It's like he's a baby. I'm not holding everything against him on the first day, but yeah, I want to be able to work through some of these things in a way where if I see it, I catch it, I correct it. It's meaningful to him, he understands, and then really rewarding things when we go outside. Luckily, we've had good weather today, so it's been great to be able to do that. But he's a busybody. He's very cavalier, but poodles are often spazzy too, and so sometimes we put these two breeds together and we get like kind of chaos. And so this can help him learn how to just relax because the door doesn't move. Whereas like if I'm holding on the leash, I'm going to give to the leash. He has to just give into the pressure of the leash and relax despite things going on around him. So sometimes I reward, sometimes I not because I'm busy doing dishes or whatever, but this can be a really good skill for him. So I watch his tail. Even when he lays down, if he holds that tail high, he's still not calm. So he's still holding on to some excitement. But this is a skill that puppies are not born with. This is something that needs to be taught. And so this is something that we can do. If he gets frustrated and goes to bite the leash, no. And I just do a little leash correction. He's a sensitive guy, one little leash pop. He's like, whoa, what the heck did you just do? But I want it to be where he stops. It doesn't need to be so harsh where he's losing it, but enough where he's like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that, and stops doing it. Another option that I've done with him is giving him an antler to chew on. So I'll often do this as I'm training another dog. I'll hook him, if I'm not gonna have him in the crate, hook him to something and do some cleaning. I'll hand him an antler. It's okay. He's gonna start teething here shortly, so it's okay to give him things to relieve some of that discomfort in his mouth. As long as he's chewing on the antler, not biting the leash, he can do that calmly. And I often ask kids to ignore when we're doing some of this tethering so he can truly relax and get used to the art of doing nothing, which is not easy for a young guy, but he's doing good. Good job, Louie.